Hey, welcome back. You know when you're young and your parents are trying to get you to do something that's the right thing to do, and actually they're just trying to get you to listen to them, but you refuse, because you're a kid. But they want to try to find cool ways to make you understand what they're trying to tell you. So when I'm in this cryptocurrency journey, what I'm trying to do is reach out to people who aren't getting it or don't want to get it, or some that don't even know it's there, or some that might feel it's challenging, or it's too much for me to think about right now. I have bills to pay. And my mother told me one thing that sticks with me. I apply it all the time. I use it all the time. She told me to get something you never had before, you have to do something you never did before. Now I'm going to try to explain why. I'm going to show you visual proof of why it's important to change your thinking if you're going to change your life. And that's what cryptocurrency can give you a vehicle to do. A couple of things we want to start with. We want to think. If we're going to change your life, you have to change your thinking, right? This is applying to everybody, but this applies to people with lower income people. Everybody who never felt like they got the right shape, or it's out there. You want to try it, but you don't have the extra money to do it. You don't have an extra 150 bucks at the end of the month, an extra 100 bucks at the end of a check, even. And of the people I talk to, older people too, older people tend to say, you know what? At this time in my life, I'm too old to think of a new paradigm, a new way of thinking. I'm just going to keep putting my money in my bank account, and for a little while, I have money going into my 401k, so whatever is left there, I'm just going to stay with that. Cryptocurrency sounds too difficult. I want to try to break some of this down. You have to think longer term. I don't, and longer term is different in cryptocurrency than it is in regular investing. If you're saving for a year in a savings account, for instance, you haven't got started. You need to do this for 40 years. Or if you're doing the Roth IRA or the 401k or some kind of investment plan like that, long term in that environment is like 40 years. You start work when you're 21, 22, you retire at 65. That's that's what you're talking about. You're trying to earn some money over that length of time so that when you retire, you have money. But whenever you invest in cryptocurrency, long term is 2, 3, 4, 5 years. One of the cryptocurrency cycles. That's a much different. Long term in crypto thinking is much shorter than here because things are moving faster. A year, if you're thinking short term, mid term, you're talking 5, 6 months to a year maybe. It doesn't take much time to build up money here. This is a totally different game. What's exciting about it is you're offered a chance here with very minimal difficulty. It's not as difficult as people think to just buy something. You're offered a chance to buy money before everybody starts spending it as money. You can you can trade money on forex right now. You can trade um, all different currencies. But right now with Bitcoin, you can do this as well. But you're buying. You have to think of this. How can I buy dollars, U.S. dollars, before people start spending? You don't want to buy them because they're highly inflationary, and you lose your money, which I will show you in a minute here. But you get a chance to buy a very volatile currency before it calms down and starts to get regular, which is when we start using it as transactional funds. I'm going to show you a little bit about how this works. The main idea is to get into investing at whatever income level you're at, whatever age you're at. None of that matters. This is very simple to do. And you get a chance to do what all the young people say. You want to be the boss. You get to be the boss of your own money, your own future, your own finances, your own time. You get to be the boss. You're in control of how much money you make and how fast you make it, and then what you do with it, because that's what bossing's all about. Okay, so one thing I want to look at here is, well, first the charts are green. That's beautiful today. But I want to show you this compound interest calculator. This is if you have a savings account. What you can expect to make over a year. We can do it we can do 10 years if you want and see. I'm not going to do 40 years for this, only because we can't compare 40 years in Bitcoin because there aren't 40 years of data. So if you're looking for a basic bank account, you can see with, as an example, these are the APYs that you're going to get. 0.5% at best is what you can expect. So we come up here to the starting amount, and this is the calculator. We're going to say you're going to start a bank account with $500, okay? And we're just going to save over 1 year at the 0.5%, which is what everybody's showing down below. Say you start with 500 bucks, but you want to contribute $100 a month to your account. And so $100 a month, and annually, how much can you expect to make? Let's see what that turns out to be. $1,706. $1,706. Sounds like a decent amount of money after 1 year with a 500 contribution, but let's add it up. Additional contributions, $100 a month. That's $1,200 over the course of this year. The 500 you added in makes that 1,700. 1,200 plus 500, 1,700. So you're telling me you made $6. After putting $1,700 in over a year, you earned $6 on your money. Okay, that's insane. Let's say you did this over 10 years. Let's see if this changes anything. If you calculate over 10 years, then you say, 12,000. Okay, 12,000 looks like a better number. But let's add this up. $100 a month is $1,200. For 10 years, that's $12,000. Add your 500, that's 12,500. So basically you made $332 in 10 years if you use savings account only at a 0.5% interest rate, saving your money. That makes me want to cry. Now, let's go to the 401k. I have another calculator here. We're going to close down this thing and just fill it in. I filled in all this data here. We'll say we make 30,000 bucks a year. I'm just giving rough ideas of what of who we might be. Yeah, we'll say we're born in '86, and the retirement age is 65. I'm just saying we're in kind of square. I don't know why. But if you have a 401k and you're making this amount of money, 30,000 a year, your annual contribution is 1,800. I think that's 150 bucks a month is what you're pitching in. Your employer matches 100% up to 6%. I think is something that I remember. I haven't had a job in a while, but what you can make it at age 65 is $257,000. This is 40 years of work. When you retire at age 65 with a $30,000 a year job, pitching in 150 a month, and the employer matches 6%, 100% up to 6% of your salary. 257,000. Now that is a good amount of money. That's something nice to think about. But it took 40 years to get to it. This is an issue that I have as well. Now, let's do Bitcoin calculator. With inflation adjustment too. Let's say for that same 500 bucks that you were going to put in your savings account, which was back here, that over 10 years you made this. Let's do it over 5 years and show you what that would be in Bitcoin. So 5 years, you put 500 in, saved 100 a month. you're at $6,589. With Bitcoin calculator, that 500, what year ago was that? 5 years would be 2016, because this is 2021. Let's see how much, and we'll adjust for inflation too. Let's see how much that return would be. $33,285. 6,557% return versus, let's go back and see. Yeah, so 33,285 versus 6,589 at a 0.5% return. This is the reason this number here, 5 years with only $500, this is what you make. Let's go back. We can't go 10 years. So let's go back. I mean, we can't go 40 years. Let's go back 10 years with $500. I can explain what $500 is. If we go, let's get out of that. If we go back 5 years, 2016, Bitcoin was $387, $378. If you spent $500, you would have slightly over, where are we at? There it is. You would have slightly over 1.2 Bitcoin. And if you come to the end here, we'll go to the lowest point. We won't even go to the highest point. If you go to the lowest point here, 1.5 Bitcoin, 1.2 Bitcoin would be about $50,000, $60,000. That's what the $500 would do. But let's punch it up on the calculator. Oh no, I looked at 5 years, sorry. This is 10 years. 10 years, if you put 500 bucks in, you would have, let's start here and see what this is. $1,886,000 is what you would have if you put in $500 10 years ago into Bitcoin. Okay, ooh, every time I think about bank stuff, I feel like I gotta clean my hands and like clean my whole face. Just the idea of how much they pay you as a return on your money is insane. So don't live under that rock. You see how easy it is. You see what kind of growth you can get. Grab a little bit of Bitcoin and start your journey. Get into it. There's no better time than now. You saw that green on the chart. Okay. I hope you have a good day. Another beautiful day outside. I hope you and your family are doing well, and I hope you make some money out there.